Welcome into the official. We are going to wrap up our 3-star QB show today, right now. But if you haven't seen already, go back and watch the first 2 episodes of this 3-star QB. We've given you 6 guys who are kind of at the top of our list of 3-star QBs you need to keep an eye on. You may need to roster at the end of your bench, or at the very least have on speed dial next year. We have seen plenty of freshman QBs start in 2024, and then that's just a big stepping stone to starting as true sophomores, and then the momentum starts building. But this episode, we're going to do like a little popcorn grab bag of just kind of other names to know. So go watch the first 2 episodes of guys that we kind of go a little more in depth with some video evidence of what they're doing on the field. Today is just going to be throwing a bunch of names at you. And then, you can prioritize and do some more deep diving if you'd like. So we're just going to do kind of round robin. We'll start with Matt. Who's your number 1 on the popcorn QB show?
So mine would be Bjorn Jurgensen. Earlier today, he actually was one of my 3 to make the show, but then I bumped him off flag second for Kolick because of his higher upside. But I do like Bjorn a lot. He didn't really do great on the athletic index, although solid arm. He got a 54 index or 54 velo. Going to Virginia, I think he's about 6'2", 180, 190, but a pretty good mover, better than numbers would suggest. Good playmaker, cross-body throws, a lot of fun mobile throws. Committed to Virginia, solid CFF spot. I thought, a couple of years he could maybe take over the QB job there. But ultimately the ask score kept him off the list for me.
Fair enough. I mean, I think Calandria is transferring. I don't know who they have there at the QB position. I mean, I think the guy who's like the other QB is probably out of eligibility because I think he was already a transfer from somewhere else and has been there for 2 or 3 years himself. So wide open. I mean, I'm sure they'll get somebody in the portal, but wide open at Virginia. All right, David, first on your list here on the kind of honorable mention popcorn 3-star QB show.
First name I'll throw out is Sebastian Broughton, going to Akron. Really good CFS spot. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if it's any good, but I think he's a fun player. He's a small dude. That's why he's a G5 player, but 5'10-ish, 5'10, 5'11, 170, 175. But he's still 77th percentile in the star index, given he's got some wheels. He can really run. I think he's in the 4.4s. 3-sport athlete. 49 velo isn't good, but it's G5. Who cares? And so from a rushing perspective, he averaged 107 yards per game last year. He's at 86 this year. So he's in double digits touchdown, 13 touchdowns, over 1 per game. And his passing numbers look fine to me. I don't think it completely holds him back or anything from winning his starting job at some point. So if he does, he's just a name to know that could have pretty big CFF upside. And he does have a 95-yard touchdown run too. Which kind of emphasizes that he does have real speed and he can make big plays.
Okay. That's great. I mean, yeah, we love Maction QBs. I feel like, unfortunately, I'm not sure we've hit on any, although Bert Emanuel Jr. had a little run at Central Michigan for you. That was one of your guys. But if we can land on a G5 QB, that would be great because it's so fun out there in the MAC. All right, Matt, next up for you.
All right, my next is Steele Pizzella. He's committed to Washington State. Bit of a smaller quarterback, only 5'11", in the 170s. Not exactly a very big arm either to go along with it, but he has been a very good producer, and he does have good testing as well. 10.64, 100 meter in particular is very good for a quarterback. So he can move around a bit. Good, I would say, consistent, accurate passer. Going to Washington State, which obviously historically is always pretty good for QB production. So hard to dislike that there. Obviously, little to none NFL upside. Even with his speed, 5'11", 170 is just there's not much you can do with that.
That's fair. That's true. All right, but I like the argument there. I'm going to be honest, I've not watched him yet, but obviously I trust you more than I trust myself. David, next on your list, let's go.
I tweeted about this guy a little bit. Weston Bryan, he plays for Lee County. He's the quarterback.
On Chroma's
next to Usmani Chroma. But honestly, like as far as like touchdowns go, like he's got like almost like 30 touchdowns this year, which is just crazy. Like, so if he's not a very good passer, but although his passing stats don't look terrible, but if he can somehow be a decent enough passer and they want to use him in that way at Georgia Southern, like he could have some really big CFF upside. Like he's still 70th, like about 70th in the star index as a quarterback. Like, I don't know. He says the GPS or whatever, he hit like 22 miles per hour. I don't know. I have him in there at 21.5. I was a little on the conservative side, but like his velocity is like 47. He did have like a 55-yard pass in there. So maybe his arm's like a little better than I was getting him credit for. But regardless, mechanically, he looks really bad. But he's also a guy that could play running back or tight end too. So I don't think he's like a total, like I think he's going to do something in college. I don't know what it'll be. Could be good. So just, I don't know, just keep an eye on him, basically.
I mean, you said he hits 21 plus miles per hour. I saw him listed at 240 pounds. Is that right?
So I usually take the highest weight generally because it's usually the most updated weight. So yeah, I don't know. He deadlifts like with the trap bar like 700 pounds and like, yeah, he's like super strong. I've seen 225 or 240 somewhere in that area.
Still, I mean, if a running back did that and hit 21 or someone said 22 miles per hour, we'd be like, this guy's the RB1 in the class. So that's wild stuff. And from a 3-star going to G5, I do like that combination. Matt, you're up next.
Last up is Austin Carlisle. Another small but very fun quarterback going to Houston. I believe he has a 10.5 100 meter. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah, 10.5. Fantastic. Kind of similar to that regard as Pizella. Don't love the Houston spot nearly as much, but he should have a pretty clear path to a starting job there eventually. Really good rusher, noodle arm, as you would kind of expect, but fun player and definitely big time playmaker.
Yeah, love that for CFF, no doubt about it. David, do you have anybody else here to close us out?
Yeah, I'll just throw out a couple more real quick. Dalton Anderson going to Utah State. He's like a one-sport guy, which I me, I just hate that. But there was like an interview that I saw where he says he can throw at 72 yards, and he has multiple 60-yard passes on film. And he kind of has like a good size, like 6'2", 205. Like, I don't know, I just kind of like that size for like rushing, a little bit of rushing as well. So just a guy that has a pretty good arm, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won the starting spot there at some point. And then the other guy I was going to mention, Keldon Ryan was going to be one of my picks originally. He's going to Virginia Tech, but I got his velocity at like 48, which is just, it makes me nervous if he can be the starter on a Power 4 team or not. I don't know. It's kind of a toss up, I feel like, but he plays for a big school, DeSoto, plays really good competition, and has produced really pretty well, honestly. Like, let's see, this year he's got a 126 QBR, 71 yards per rushing per game at 9 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns. So he's a good runner. Pretty good size too. Another guy, 6'2", 200, 210. So he's an athletic guy. Basically, this is another guy to know where I think he is accurate too. 72%. He completed 70% last year, 72% this year. The arm worries me. I guess ideally, it would be nice if he just transferred down just get rid of the ego, go down to the G5, and just tear it up and just be a star in the G5. And then she's just a guy to know. So if he does win the starting job, he'd be attractive.
Well, thanks, guys. That's great. Love to see it. Really appreciate all the deep diving and all the effort you guys are putting into this. Picking up a little of my slack. Had a really busy holiday week. Wasn't able to get in there myself. But yeah, thanks a lot. We'll do running backs next week. And have a great week, gentlemen. Good to get back on here with you. And we will see you later. This has been The Official.